Hello. It's us. We're here. How are you?
Where am I?
Things got messed up. Hold on.
Okay.
There you are. I gotta fix these commands. I gotta fix these macros. They're incorrect. They're correct no longer. Hello. Hi. Hey, what's up? It's us. We are live from the apocalypse. If you've never heard of us before, we are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and other important causes. And we are currently raising money for medical aid for Palestinians. We've been talking about this for years at this point. You know the deal. We just ask that if you like what we do here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things like subscribing or giving us bits or interacting with fake cyber currency in any way, shape, or form, wouldn't recommend it. You instead take the $5 or the $6 or really whatever you can spare. There is no expectation. And you give it directly to medical aid for Palestinians instead, because we just play games on the internet and they are doing very good and important work on the ground. So to that end, we have hidden the subscribe button so you get at your own peril. We can't stop you from doing it. Twitch doesn't let us turn it off, unfortunately. Just be aware that if you do it, if you find it, beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brendan Lee Mulligan, as you may have seen, will kill a dog. He will murder one dog for every month that you are subscribed to this channel. 34 already is just too many. I think we can all agree. Whoever did that, monster. So don't do that. Just donate to medical aid for Palestinians instead. If you do that, there will be an alert that plays as well. It'll interrupt whatever's going on in the game. And I will have to get us back on track because I run this game, but we'll get to that in a second. There are other things that I have to talk about. There are channel points. There are things that you can redeem, good stuff, bad stuff. There are emotes, all that. I feel like I'm skipping something really important. This feels like it went by very fast.
I think you're just on it.
Okay. Weird. Yeah, all right. Well, this is Nephilim Tenebris. This is a near future sci-fi game about space capitalism and how it's bad and all that good stuff. Here's Frodo. He just woke up because I was talking too much. And I guess, yeah, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and start getting into our cast introductions because we're gonna jump right on in and play this game. You know what I did forget to do is play the intro music, which no one could remind me of because you can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear it because Video Ninja is broken. That's fine. I'll figure it out at some point. All right, cool. Let's see. With all of that being said, we'll go ahead and get started with our introductions, which means, Alex, if you wouldn't mind going first.
I would not mind. Hello, I'm Alex. I use he, him pronouns. Tonight I will be playing Dr. Richard Courtney, the Sawbones, who also uses he, him pronouns. And if Richard, or when Richard was asked to pick a starter Pokemon, he chose to cry because the thought of all of those little dudes and all of those little balls made him very sad. So that's me. And
all
him.
Right. All right, Eli.
Oh, hi. My name is Eli. I go by any and all pronouns. I am playing Padlock, who goes by any and all pronouns as well, and is the junker of this wonderful group. If Pad were to have a Pokemon, it would be Scrafty, the little robbing guy with cool pants. That's it.
All right. Q.
Hi, I'm Q. Tonight, Q him. Almost forgot. I remembered. Tonight I'm going to be playing Captain Cassidy Starrunner. Also he him, who's the jockey playbook. And his starter Pokemon would be Goblimon.
You know what fucking pisses me off about this? You know what fucking pisses me off about this? Not only did you do this, you took my joke. You took what I was obviously going to do.
And that's why it's funny.
You took... Oh, you son of a bitch. Rose.
This is how the crew of the Tenebris dies. Howdy, y'all. My name is Rose. I use they, she pronouns. I'll be playing Jojo Broxton, the crew's engineer, playing the NG playbook. She uses she, they pronouns, and the Pokemon that she would have as a starter is Morgrem, because she would like her hair. And of all the Pokemon that looks like they smoke cigarettes, gotta be like it up there.
Your playbook is the greaser.
Is it the greaser? Is that what it's
It's the
called?
greaser.
Damn it, I thought it was.
I was wondering.
Why did I think
what
the
words?
NG?
I don't know.
Son of a bitch.
We've done
I
this
played the
11
Greaser
times.
playbook. I played this for a year.
Oh, we're loose. We're loose. It's good, dude. Thank you. Hello. That just leaves me. Hi. Hello. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller this evening. This is Frodo. He'll be biting me this evening. And I play everyone else. If I had to fucking pick a Pokemon, it'd be, I don't know, Terriermon.
What a good original
bitch.
joke.
so good. Listen, I'm gonna be eating off of that for a while.
I can't fucking stand you.
I love you too.
Delicious.
All right. Well, let me. All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and get started since all of that's out of the way.
Absolutely.
All right.
You're so mad.
I'm furious. I'm seething. I gotta. This isn't gonna work, buddy. We tried. You can come back in a bit and get your energy out.
Get the zoomies.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. Where we are going to begin tonight is with the Tenebris taking off and leaving Mars. Leaving the planet Mars, the independent territories known as Mars, behind. So you take to the sky, you climb higher and higher. As you do so, your communications cut out. You lose contact with Maeve Delaney, you lose contact with the planet below. And you head straight for the Earth Coalition warship waiting for you in orbit around the planet. In a run that many people have advised you is suicide. And I think with that in mind, I'd like to drift back a few years, starting with our good doctor, Dickie. You feel the control stick of the fighter, the starfighter, in your hands. You see the ships blazing past you in the midst of this chaotic ship battle that fills the space around you. You see distant warships firing barrages at each other, but you're in the thick of it. You're in the middle. And right as you are starting to get your bearings, almost out of nowhere, 3 ships converge on you dead on, firing at yours. You see the light fill your view screen, and the words flash across that say, "Simulation failed."
There is a moment where Dickie would like nothing more than to break that handle off, but that would be a crime. That would be a wrong. And so he takes all of that frustration, just packs it down as he's been taught to. Neutral face. How many more chances do I have? Just depresses the comm button. Or, I get to go again?
And you hear the voice of the headmaster reply. As he says, would you like to go again?
Yes.
What did you do wrong?
Hold on, I can pull up that information, and he's going to go look at the readout that I'm sure he gets. Okay. I didn't notice that vector. I wasn't looking at it. I didn't think that there was anything there. So I'll just be more aware next time.
You can end this at any time.
Not until I get it right. We can go again. I should go again.
Very well. And your eyes are blinded momentarily by a flash of light as the simulation starts back up. I'd like to jump to Jojo. Similar situation. You're in the middle of this dogfight out in space. Innumerable odds, too many targets for you to track. 3 starfighters converge on you. There's nothing you can do. They blast you. Simulation failed.
I think you see at some point there was a lot of maneuvering, and then towards the end of the simulation, as everything's going down, we see as if the ship has just given up and gone into neutral and starts floating in. And there's a intercom of waiting and waiting. And then after getting called, Jojo, are you there? There's like a loud banging across and going, if I just cross these circuits, I could absolutely fix this and then make it sure, like this was an impossible situation that you put me in. So like clearly you fucked up your programming. I'm sorry, you guys messed up your programming. So if we could just, change around this to make it a winnable solution, maybe I can actually impress you. But otherwise, yeah, test is done. This was garbage. Do you have anything else?
Padlock.
Yes.
You manage to blast one of the 3 starfighters as they converge on you, but the other 2, their bolts slip past, and simulation failed.
I think once everything like goes black on the screens to end the simulation, Pad's just kind of sitting in there. I think it's just like a bunch of just rocking back and forward and like muttering to themselves about what they could do if they got the one, and then there's the probability that if they tried something a little bit more crazy. But it's more of them just like internally just doing stuff without any regard to anybody else.
And the comms, you almost don't hear them as they click on, and you hear the headmaster say, would you like to go again?
I think it's startled by it, and I was just like looking up to sure. Do you think I could get different weapons instead? Something bigger?
The test is calibrated for the equipment that you have.
Yeah, but what if we had better equipment?
But you won't always. And that is not the purpose of this particular test.
But it could if we had the time.
But that's just it. You do not have the time. Would you like to go again?
Yeah, I can figure it out. Let's go.
You launch back into it. And finally, Cassidy. The comms click on. How many times are we going to do this?
As many as necessary.
Surely by now you have learned the purpose of this test.
I'm fairly certain I know what it is that you want the lesson to be about.
And if I tell you, you can't win.
Then my response is to tell you to respectfully eat my ass. Let's run it again.
I think that's enough for one night. I think you should take the rest of the night in contemplation.
Will, is that the nice word for ice? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yep. That is what they call isolation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you feel the sim pod doors open. You feel arms pulling you out of it with iron grips, and you feel the familiar. You are dragged down familiar pathways that lead to
Gotcha.
contemplation.
Gotcha. Hey. Listen, guys. I can walk on my own. Mark, Jesse, it's fine.
They don't acknowledge you. They never acknowledge you.
Of course not.
Of course not. And then you are thrown into darkness. You hear the door slam shut behind you, and that slam of the door, that bang, echoes. Echoes. Back to your seat at the helm of the Tenebris. As you leave the atmosphere behind, everything in your view screen goes almost as dark as the room that they threw you into so many times. Especially with the stars, as obscured as they are, by the mass of this Earth Coalition warship that hangs ominously above your head. As you break through the atmosphere and enter the vacuum of space, sensors immediately start to blare across the Tenebris. So you are locked on by many, many different weapon systems. What do you do?
All right. Turning on the comms. All right, everyone. We're about to go into some Class A dumb shit. I want everyone to their stations. Dickie,
Yes, Captain.
I'm fairly certain I'm not the only one that's been a little banged up. Think you can make some visits?
Yeah, not a problem. I'll get my bag.
Great.
Yeah, I'm probably fine. Don't worry about it. That is code
Jojo?
for Jojo needs help desperately.
Jojo? hey, beloved. Now's
Yes,
not the time.
boss.
I need you beyond your top game. Okay?
you hear every like bone cracking in her spine as she rolls and goes, "Yep, I will be."
All right. Padlock.
Yeah.
Time to get the sauce ready.
Yes. Cool. I gotta rearrange stuff because Nevin came down here and like moved things, like flipped switches and like my whole algorithm's off, but I got it. Just give me a couple seconds.
Okay. All right. So. All right. Great. That's perfect. You're gonna have time. Jojo, we're gonna pull a slingshot.
You want a slingshot around Mars?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm sure.
And just like without even seeing you, Dickie, don't look at me in that tone of voice.
I wasn't looking at you in any tone, Captain.
Look, Budaloka's entire idea is built on magnets and reversing as much gravity as possible so we can build momentum and shoot us forward. I'm sure I can pull a stunt and give us something to shoot for.
Absolutely. All right.
I'll give her the juice. Padlock's got the sauce. Dixter, I could use some bandages, I guess.
Okay, we're just gonna let that go. And I will head back.
Love you too.
You head back for the engine room. You see points of light, Cassidy. You see points of light opening up. Padlock, you would see this too now that you're in the gunner chair. But you see points of light appearing in front of you that for a second you think maybe are the stars, but then you realize it's the weapons powering up on this warship. It's the intubated explosions that are going to launch the various torpedoes and missiles out into the vacuum of space and directly towards you. Maybe not with particularly accurate aim, but when you're firing a barrage this wide, you don't really need to aim. So you see all of that happening. You see space in front of you start to fill with dark objects moving towards you rapidly. Sounds like you're pulling a stunt.
Yeah.
Since you are pulling a stunt from the engine, you can use the engine size in place of the helms. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus the size of the engine, which, as we all know, here on our beloved Tenebris, is 2.
So 2d6 plus 2.
Yep.
Let's go.
No whammies, no whammies. Uh, 7 plus 2 is 9.
Okay. All right.
With help, I could bump it up to a 10 if we wanted
could.
to.
I would
You
love
could.
to.
Because this is the stunt, yeah?
Yeah.
This is pull a stunt, yeah. So on a 7 and 9, you still do it, but you have to choose one of the following. If you want to avoid making that choice entirely, you can get help. Cassidy's probably the one who's most in a position to do that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If that's what's happening, then I'm going to need to know what your chains are at.
Mine is taut with a heat of 2.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
then we add 2.
Yes, you will add 2. You will also, let me see here. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So the helping crew member is going to suffer the consequences, which in this case is going to be Cassidy. You only need to add 1 to this. And actually, you are adding 2 heats regardless. So I think you are set in this particular case.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to bump it up to an 11.
Oh, yeah.
Which means that you are going to be able to pull it off. So as this barrage starts, as you see these torpedoes and these missiles being fired out of the weapons bays of the warship and heading directly towards you, you don't slingshot around the planet itself, obviously, but you can absolutely use the gravity of the planet itself to slingshot the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Since JoJo is the one pulling the stunt, would you like to describe it?
Yeah, so this the ship is, for those who aren't aware, if I recall correctly, built a kind of like a sword, right? So what I picture Joe doing is, part of why this is an intense maneuver is that she's trying to stabilize the hull while this is moving like you would throw an axe through space. So we sling it like that, and the ship just moves all of its propulsion forward to one side. We then loop around and, using Mars's gravity, just converge to shoot us forward. Joe is locked in. Her metal pipe legs are locked into places. The engine room just lights up, and it's thundering and it's smoky. And Joe just kind of yells out a victorious cheer as it starts to spin. Grateful for Cass giving the pep talk and probably giving some of the pilots reserve energy there.
Hell yeah. Thanks to JoJo's maneuver, which you've done so many times before, but maybe never quite in the odds that you're facing right now, you managed to avoid at least the very bulk of these objects heading towards you. Some of them, I think, Padlock, you were able to detonate before they hit you, probably with the machine gun that you have access to from the gunner's chair. But the vast majority of them you are avoiding, and somehow miraculously you come out the other side unscathed. Once again, facing the warship, which is clearly trying to find you amidst all of the debris and all of the explosions. It's clearly having a hard time figuring out where you are, as small of an object as you are, amid all of the chaos and the fury and the sound that they've created themselves. For a second, there are no weapons firing at you. What would you do?
I think we would get into position, sort of having the warship sort of in the path of where we're turning to get to the jump gate.
There are floodlights that start shooting out from the ship, searching across all of the debris, trying to find you. And not only the debris that they've created, but the debris that perpetually exists in a state in orbit of Mars from World War III. Using all of that as cover, these floodlights start searching for you. And as you come about and start heading directly towards the warship, the sword-like blade of your ship pointing directly at them, one of those floodlights finds you. For a moment, there's this scene, the warship hovering over your head, the light shining down from it, the Tenebris illuminated in the midst of the beam on a direct course.
All right. Eddie,
Aye, aye.
give him the sauce.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Pat is gonna get into position, try to lock on some part of the ship, and prepare to get the sauce.
So, I was doing a little reading today,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that your plasma cannon that you have selected
Yes.
has the Hellfire tag.
Yes.
You may be interested to find out that what the Hellfire tag does is, if you choose to invoke it, your weapon hits every room, quote unquote, on the enemy ship
Oh.
at the
Yeah.
cost of you having to take a special action, basically, for it to recharge.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, this blast, you can fire a blast, you can hit every room on the ship simultaneously, every room on the warship simultaneously. It is going to take all of the power from your ship
Okay.
for at least a few moments. It's hard to say, but this is going to be pouring all of the juice into the experimental cannon, the experimental one-of-a-kind cannon. that is built into your ship.
Okay. All right. Then with that in mind, can I do some prep work for that?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I want us to be able to, like, I want us to be already moving so that once we fire, our forward motion, like our forward momentum, is carrying us on the way to the gate enough that we have a time to either like reboot or get there while drifting.
I love that. Yeah, you can absolutely set that up. I think that is going to be a question of probably pulling a stunt unless you have a jockey move.
I have loop the loop. When you pull a stunt, you can add your gut to the roll.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's definitely what's happening. So you are now the one pulling a stunt, Cassidy. You are now the one who's going to be pulling this from the helm, not from the engine room.
Hell yeah. Also, when the ship's in combat, which I feel we are, I can pull a stunt to add gut to the ship's hull ongoing. But so that's just good to know, just in general.
That is extremely good to know. You don't need it, but okay.
All right, that is 5 plus 4 plus 2 is 11.
Okay. Sorry, what is your total?
11.
11. All right. With an 11, you're pulling a stunt. You do it just fine. So what does this look like as you have this shot lined up? What are you doing?
So I think using the last bits of the magnetism that we were using to slingshot, there's just a last little boost, and the blade comes full brunt to face to face the warship on its trajectory, like we're doing a suicide, like a suicide run straight at it. But at the last second, just as it opens up, it's gonna fire, and it's already turning. So it's just like hitting and a boom, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Which means, yeah, since you rolled perfectly, you got an 11. That just happens. The warship still has this light trained on you. You can practically hear, even though you can't, people scrambling inside of the warship to reload the missile tubes, to reload the torpedoes. But you know from experience that is not an easy task, and that is not a quick task. So you have a little bit of time since you survived that first barrage so handily. You are perfectly positioned for this. Padlock.
Yes.
What do you do?
I open fire. I'm just like, I hope they have their trays in the upright position because dinner's here, and I press the big button.
Hell yeah. Perfect. The big button. Are you using the Hellfire? Are you going all out?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cassidy set you up for this. So the light is streaming down on you, engulfing the Tenebris. It is in your eyes, Cassidy, but you've already done what you need to do. You flip your sunglasses down. It's like nothing was ever there. The blade of your ship slides open, revealing the cannon contained inside directly down the barrel. It lights up with that same brilliant orange energy. At the moment that it does, the lights coming out of the warship get a little more erratic. All of them swivel, all of them pivot to converge on you. Maybe like 6 or 7 of them are all just pointed directly at you. You see the warship trying to switch its positioning, trying to do something, but it's too massive. It's too big. It's too slow. There's absolutely no way. But it's giving panic. The energy.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Exactly.
Indeed. Great point, Frodo. The energy lights up. It starts to pulse as the gun ramps up. The Hellfire Cannon ramps up. I need you to roll to get in a fight.
That's me.
Yes, that is you.
What is that? Is that
That is with spine, I believe.
yes. Okay, cool. Spine. That's an 8.
Okay. We could let that stand, or we could help.
And we got some help.
I could probably offer some help. I'm banged up, but I think engine room is who's going to be supplying power for the sauce. So as soon as I either hear Patty or see the readings going off, going to do the same thing she always does. Locks in, uses her body as the missing connector and fries herself. But
100%, yeah. Classic JoJo move. Perfect. Okay, what is your chain at?
I have for Padlock a tightness of taut, but a heat of 3.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you are taut, which means that you are going to be, what's your heat, Padlock?
3.
Also 3? Okay, 3 across the board.
Yeah.
So you're going to be adding 3 to this regardless, which means that I think you got it, right? What did you have, Padlock?
I had an 8.
You had an 8. That's going to
So
put you at an
plus-
11.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you are going to be set on this. The engines start to power. The cannon is starting to power up. Once again, as sometimes happens, the orange energy starts to flicker. It starts to hum down.
Don't you do it.
Padlock, you see the lights flicker. This has happened enough times that you know what's about to happen. I'm sorry, and I meant Jojo. I think I said Padlock. Jojo, you've seen the lights flicker in the engine room. You know what's about to happen.
Absolutely the fuck not. So Jojo cranks out her metallic legs, her metal legs, so she stands up, gets into the hooks, and is going to take the leftover energy from the engineering room and any other spare power sources that she can. Takes out a wrench and sees that it's like there's a latch far away that needs a connection, and she just takes her wrench and throws it and goes into the air, smacks the connection, and that brings everything in, and the circuit connects and completes.
Perfect. The gun starts to ramp back up, and at this moment, my mom can't donate because Canada's not letting her for some reason, but hi, Will's
Thanks,
mom.
Will's mom.
Hi, Will's mom.
Okay, now
Still
go to
love
bed.
you.
It's true.
You know, it's
Fantastic. You take off. The energy ramps up, and then it starts humming faster, glowing brighter. The power readings that you're seeing in front of you, Padlock, are off the charts.
Oh yeah.
And it lances out this concentrated beam of superheated plasma out of your cannon barrel. It strikes near the bottom of the warship, which is in the process of trying to come about. And if they hadn't, it might have hit them in a different part, maybe a more armored part. But because they are, it strikes them at the end. Except your beam doesn't stop. So as you are turning, as you are following through on this maneuver that Cassidy set up, the beam of plasma coming out of your cannon just moves along the body of the warship, starting from the end and moving up until it gets about halfway. Everywhere it touches, it's burning through the hull of the ship. You can see where parts of it are starting to come off. You can see things exploding inside. You can see you can't see people panicking, but presumably they are. They're in there. Some of the lights turn off. Some of the weapons explode in their tubes thanks to your gun. and you follow through on your trajectory, there's a moment where the blast ends. It flickers a couple times, and then it finally cuts off. And everywhere you are in the ship, there's a sort of as the ship whirs down. You're in darkness, except for the fairy lights that are set up throughout the ship. And for a second, you're drifting, still very much in the path of this warship. And that's when you hear the comms crackle on. And you hear a fairly unfamiliar voice. You hear an unfamiliar voice that says, "Thanks for starting the party, Tenebris. We'll take it from here." And at that moment that comes across the comms, you see ships, piecemeal ships, secondhand starfighters, poorly, not poorly constructed, but they are just fully like two different ships welded together. Some of them have parts from scrapper ships. Some of them have parts from military vessels. Some of them have parts from like sand crawlers. And they zoom past you, and they start strafing across the surface of the warship, buying you exactly enough time. You drift on the trajectory that Cassidy set up past the warship. You clear it. Jojo, the engine hums to life.
Oh, thank God. That was a scary drift, but it grabs the wrench and waits to make sure it's still humming, then goes, "We're in the clear." 2 clangs for the all clear.
And Cassidy, you feel the controls come back on. The ship has power again.
Fantastic. We're going to continue on our way.
Cool. Yeah,
Right.
you... I assume you're pouring on the juice.
Yeah.
To get the fuck away from here.
It's time to go.
All right.
It's time to go. He does his math, as per usual.
As per usual. You see explosions across the surface of the Earth Coalition warship. You can see as you drift past it, emblazoned on the side, where it says ECSS Vigilant. And then you clear it, your engines kick back on, you punch it, and you blast away from there, leaving it in your dust as you start making your way away from Mars and towards the nearest ring gate that will launch you forward to your destination of tranquility. And in that moment, Dickie, you finally have the chance to get to the engine room.
Whew. I feel like Dickie spent most of that fight not knowing what was going on, so there was a lot of walking and then holding on to shit. And at one point, the ship shuddered and went whoop, and Dickie also went whoop. When power went off, he probably did a little drift, pulled himself along until we finally got to the engine room. And I think when he gets there, he looks at Jojo and is like, "We're alive? We're good.
Unless this is hell. And if it is, not too bad." She clinks down, slams into her wheelchair, and just takes a deep sigh of relief. And dusts off some of the singe that is the new singe.
Right, on top of the old singe.
The old singe, yeah. These are
Layers.
multiple singes. I didn't set myself on fire this time, though. She takes a drag of the cigarette and tosses the pack to him. So I think that's an improvement.
Dickie will take a cigarette and light it, take one puff, cough, and put it down and grind it out.
What matters is you're trying to understand me, and I appreciate that.
It tastes like death.
Hey, it's cleaner than the vents, that's all I can say.
Right.
Reminds me of home,
No. Tranquility is very clean. Not like this at all. Okay, so what's wrong? You said you needed help. By saying you didn't need help.
Yeah. I've been on fire multiple times.
Okay.
I've been electrocuted. I don't remember the last time I've showered. My hair is singed. I'm cut. I'm bloody. I don't remember the last time I've slept. But besides that, we didn't die.
Didn't.
Drag with a
Okay.
cigarette.
I have an aloe for the burns and the electrical burns. I can't help with curing your hair, but you're going to go to bed now. As soon as we're through that gate, you're sleeping.
I just have no idea what. As soon as the aloe comes on and it's like a soothing sensation, and we have reached a hum, JoJo out like a light, fully slumped over in her chair, snoring, cigarette still smoldering.
Can I make a heal check on JoJo to try and make sure that they are not fully bloodied, scorched, or shattered?
Sorry, yes, I was distracted.
Just the normal amount of bloodied, scorched, and shattered for JoJo.
Exactly. Are you using the infirmary, or are you just using your own?
It seems like JoJo is wanting to stay in the engine room, so I think we'll take care of things there.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a dining table. She'll just knock some shit over and then just jump on it.
Right.
Okay. So you're just gonna roll with brain then for your red to red, white to white move.
Okay, sounds good. That is a 9. So you will heal 1 harm.
Nice.
But something of mine breaks, it seems like.
Yes. Well, yours or theirs. It's your call.
No, I'll do something of mine.
Your heart.
My heart breaks, right. What do I have? I think it'll be one of my tools. Something when I'm trying to adjust your legs. There will be something that I'm going to need Pad to look at when I'm all done with this. But once everything is settled, you've got your salve, ointment, aloe, whatever. I've wrapped up the stuff that's bleeding. You've passed out in your chair. Dickie will find the least oil-covered scrap of cloth he can and put that over JoJo, and then make sure that the cigarette isn't going to light it on fire. Just put it in a cigarette tray or whatever, ashtray, and yeah.
As the cigarette is put out, there is just a mumbled, "I wasn't finished with that," and Ben snoring. That's it.
You were, and then Dickie will leave because the rest of the crew is up front, and they also sounded like they needed. Also, since I healed you, you heat your chain with me by 1 if you can.
I can. So now we are at a heat of 3.
Hell yeah!
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah!
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
The good doctor.
The goodest doctor.
The goodest doctor. Exactly. Perfect. You make your way back up to the front of the ship right about as Padlock, you are extricating yourself from the gunner's chair. Things are still a little sparky down there in the wake of that last Hellfire Cannon blast. It's going to take a minute before you can set that off again like that.
Fair. But I think Pad's kind of chuckling to themselves. And they thought I never would have enough time to do that stuff. Getting excited. just sitting down next to Cassidy in the next chair, just like full on like slump, but like just spread starfish on a chair, and then just sigh.
Meanwhile, Cassidy is sitting in the chair. We're at the point where we're just going to make it through the gate, and it's effectively we're on autopilot. He has found one of many flasks around the ship. He has drunk all of it in one go. And he's just sort of staring up at the ceiling, not even out into space at this point, just staring up.
And Dickie, I think that's exactly when you arrive on the bridge.
Oh no, they're both unconscious. Hold on. And I'm going to rush over to the captain because someone needs to fly this ship. I'm going to make sure that he's alive. Cassidy, you feel Dickie fingers on your neck.
Oh, hated that. Hated that a lot.
That's a sentence.
The
That's a
coldest of
sentence.
doctor's fingers. I
Yeah,
have
they're
to
very
imagine.
cold.
Yeah.
Where's the thing? Hold on a second.
It requires it, truly. Crazy.
Oh, it's not letting me get to it. There we go. All right. I got it. Carry on in your own time.
Yeah. I'm not dead.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Are you feeling fine otherwise? Put a hand on your forehead.
He's probably running a little hot.
How is that different from usual?
Well, generally he's pretty cool, actually.
Hmm.
Hey.
Hey.
But yeah, no, he's just sort of schlumped.
Mm-hmm. I think Dickie's gonna get real close and be like, "When was the last time you drank water?"
What is that?
H2O, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. It's a liquid that.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Can I take you to the infirmary quickly?
No.
Okay, then the infirmary will come to you, and you just feel something like a needle go into you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try and heal you, but also hydrate you.
Mm-hmm.
We love it.
All right. Well, that is a 7, which means I broke my needle as well, but you heal 1.
Oh dear. You broke the needle?
Not in you.
No, thank you.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my hand was a little shaky and I pushed a little too hard when I pulled out and it's broken.
Gotcha.
Listen, I'm having a hard time making medical phrasing not sound weird. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean, just stick with Dickie fingers.
Hashtag Dickie
You
fingers.
good? Do you need a minute?
Share it worldwide, Dickie fingers.
I'm absolutely fine. It's you and you're all you. It sounds like you all went through it on down there. So when can you take a 5-minute break?
I can do one right now.
Okay. I want you to go to your cabin and do that.
Doctor's orders.
Dickie pulls himself up to his full 5'6" or whatever he is. It's like, I don't do this unless I have to, but yes, doctor's orders.
It's going to stand up. It's going to look at you, just like down. Sir, yes, sir. Offer 5-minute break or something. He's going to reach past you, like just fully just loom, grab something behind you. It's another flask. And he's going to go to his cabin.
Okay, I have an important systems question about this ship.
Yeah.
Once Cassidy's in there, can I make sure that he stays in there until he is fully rested?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I mean, Cassidy kind of explicitly has control of the ship from wherever he is, but I
That's
mean,
true.
we could try to come up with something.
After 5 years
Sure.
together, you're saying we don't have a captain's protocol of
For
something
real?
that JoJo and Padlock and Dickie whipped up together, and we're like, okay,
Well-
we hit this button, and the captain's doors lock.
I wouldn't say that, but might get the impression that maybe that only works when Cassidy wants it to.
That's
Hmm.
absolutely true. When he needs us to have a win.
I was going to
Right.
say, as far as you are aware, Dickie, yeah, you might have that.
Okay.
Whether it is as effective as you believe it is, that's a different question entirely.
Okay. I'm not going to use it yet. But if you come back and you're not rested, so help me.
I mean, we'll see.
Keep pointing my finger at you.
No,
Guilting
absolutely.
you into taking care of yourself.
That's crazy. That's wild.
I will then check on Padlock.
Yeah, I mean, Padlock, what kind of shape are you in?
I'm a little crack slashed and burned, but as soon as Diggy like puts one finger, I'm gonna be like, no.
Padlock, I can see a bone. Just hold on.
No.
Okay.
You got
I
a
ha-
pork? Wait. Before you do anything,
Yeah.
do you have a pork bun?
I don't, but I do have this. And he pulls out the wrench or whatever he broke when he was helping JoJo. Huh?
Pad will take it, but like, but
So sad about it.
like happy about it that there's a thing to fiddle with, but it's not a pork bun, and that's the real tragedy here. And they're trying to be grateful, and it's like it's a very half sad smile.
Mm-hmm. That hits right here. And
But you also hear like the Padlock's stomach like growl aggressively.
I do have like protein snacks in my bag. Okay, you ate all of my pork bun flavored lollipops, so I can't help.
I hate that a lot. Oh,
Well, when, how, why?
Well,
Please.
we're gonna need to stop at one of the ring gates eventually to refuel. Maybe on at the Tranquility one. They had a pork bun place, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Technically, it wasn't as good. They don't season things on Tranquility.
That's a slander, but okay.
but also correct.
But also correct.
But
Okay,
Pad will allow you to heal him, but he's gonna be just very grumpy about it.
I also think that Dickie is the most careful with Pad, just because we don't want to set anything off. So we are doing our best to be the gentlest of doctors, and not do anything that would.
Let's hope the dice agree.
That's a 10.
Hey,
So
let's go.
that means bop bop bop. You heal one harm and you take one forward, which is cool.
Hell yeah! So I'm just shaken, scraped, and bruised.
Just shaken, scraped, and bruised.
Just shaken, baked, and bruised.
But yeah, as soon as you're done, Pad's still just like a lump, starfished on a chair.
I do think Dickie is going to take out. He's got like little flash frozen protein bar things, and he's going to leave what he thinks would be Pad's least offensive ones. So there's probably a sesame one, and I think a blueberry one, and he will leave those, hoping that will tide you over.
We'll make do. I think as soon as you leave, or at least outside eyesight, then like hands start roaming, grab him, bring him in.
Excellent. Okay. Duty done. Everyone is healed.
What about yourself?
Oh, I'm fine.
That's not correct.
Who's the ship's doctor? Dr. Padlock will obviously agree with me. I'm fine.
Well, if that's the case, Pat's gonna be like, "What about like poke at whatever wound you have?"
I mean, he's probably got like a big old bruise on his head from hitting something while we were floating. And I mean, yeah, we're still suffering from the trauma of being arrested for a murder that we accidentally committed. So that isn't comfy. And we're kind of beat up from that, but it'll heal. They'll be fine.
Are you sure?
I mean,
when's the last time you treated yourself to self-care?
I think when I got shot on the station.
Dickie, so many things flash through your head.
Right. Just like,
getting shot at, getting shot, killing a man.
Yep.
Getting
Benny Hill
imprisoned for
theme
killing a
song
man.
plays in the background.
It's been a hot minute. Actually, would you if you wanted to, I do need to use the auto dock on myself, I guess. If you wanted to give it a calibration as a fellow doctor.
Sure, I'll help you. I think I'm gonna like slide down the chair till I'm on the floor first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna stand up.
Excellent. Then yeah, I will go to the infirmary and patch myself up, or try to.
Hell yeah.
And if you are using the infirmary, it's a little bit easier.
Right. It's the same bonus, I think, right?
It's 2. You roll the size, and yeah.
Are there different results? Is that what it
10
is?
10 plus, you heal 2 harm. 7 to 9, you heal 1 harm.
2 harm. Okay. Yeah, I can only heal 1 harm on my own, so that's good. Okay. All right. Well, we got an 8, so we'll heal 1 harm.
Okay. Well, what does that leave you at?
So that puts me to shaken, scraped, or bruised. And I think for Padlock helping, it's like normally what Dickie has to do is get on the table and like extend out the thing so that he's kind of like doing that as the auto whatever is helping him, and it's awful. So I think in this case he just lets Padlock fiddle with it, and maybe there are some instructions like hit the scanner, routine checkup, full scan, apply blah blah blah. It's the one down there. Just like sort of walks you through it.
Yeah, I'm repeating everything back to you as if it was like in a surgical room where you're just like scalpel.
Yes.
button.
20 cc's of calming me the fuck down. Put it right in there.
And before anything else happens, Tiki, you are in the infirmary dosing yourself. Jojo, you are resting. Padlock, you are resting. Cassidy, I want to check in with you back in your room. How's Cassidy doing?
It's fine. It's perfectly fine, actually. Why would you ask?
I guess I'm just wondering, what's Cassidy doing in there?
So you remember how he was sitting in the chair looking up at the ceiling? He's now laying on his bed staring up at the ceiling. Only occasionally does he put the flask up to his lips to take a drink. I think he is there. His brain is not off. Certainly screaming. Probably revisiting a few moments on Mars. None
in particular?
None in particular come to mind. His little brother showing up, being so angry with him, thinking that he abandoned them.
You shift a little bit in your bed, put one hand behind your head, and you feel something hard, cold, and metal.
We're gonna grab that.
Pull your hand away, and just sitting there in the palm of your hand when you open it, it's just a collection of loose screws, washers, bolts. Probably doesn't mean anything to you.
Just over the comm. Padlock.
Yes.
Did you come into my room?
Not recently. No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if I've been in here too recently. There's some screws and washers in here, some bolts and shit.
Oh, I mean, is anything missing? And if you don't want them, I'll take them off your hands.
Yeah, no.
Padlock, you might remember that you put a collection of screws and washers and loose debris like that into Nevin Westcott's bag.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
While he was staying in Cassidy's room.
I love that Eli didn't remember.
Listen, we've been on Mars for so long.
So true, friends.
We've been going through some shit.
So true.
So true, bestie.
It's Will's job to remember, not ours.
Exactly.
But that hurts my feelings even more because I gave those washers to Nevin.
But Horace sent him back.
Now it's this personal slight.
Well, I'm never gonna tell Cassidy that's what I did.
It's probably for the best. I mean, yeah. Hey, if you want to come grab them.
Yeah, I'll come here.
Okay, great.
Cassidy, as you reflect on some memories of your time on Mars, you look at these objects in your hands, move them around, watch the way that the light dances off of them. We're going to take a break.
Oh, holy shit.
Time flies.
God damn.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go away for the second half of tonight's episode of Nephilim Tenebris. Don't adjust your dials. See you real soon. So the thing about Rogue One that you got to remember...
No!
No.
It's just that they build it.
No, let them cook.
We're gonna revolt.
They advertise it as a heist film. And what really pisses me off about it is that it's not a heist movie. It's just another Star Wars movie.
You mean, okay.
There wasn't even an ocean, let alone 11 of them.
We did the thing. We got the important thing. We got the important thing, so we're good. We got Julia to scream, and that's all that matters.
Oh, Julia, my love.
The threats keep coming.
gonna slash my tires. Jesus Christ.
That's only if you're not there.
I hope our government appointed FBI agent in chat doesn't have anything to say about that. We lost Q. Hopefully he'll be back shortly.
He's right here.
CQ.
I see Q.
You see Q? Q's gone
Yeah.
from the overlay. I
I
think
can-
Q's gonna have to restart. I can't see Q.
Oh,
Refresh.
hey.
I think we're all here.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, Julia, you can see Q. You left.
Don't listen to him.
Cool. So, we have a few things to settle before we move right along. We were in such a hurry to get you off of Mars that we forgot the fact that you finished a job. You finished a whole ass job. And so you are going to get compensated for that, obviously, as you were promised. So I think you're going to have to roll with gut. This is a captain move.
Hell yeah. Let's roll with gut, maybe. Yeah. 8.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you have to choose one. You'll be paid in full, as agreed. Otherwise, you'll get shorted. They won't try to screw you. Otherwise, things will get ugly. Or no one will hear about this job. Otherwise, word will get around. You got to pick one of those.
We're already sort of getting paid. So I would like to not be screwed over because this was a pretty big thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Yeah, it seems
Okay,
like the
not
best.
getting screwed over.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I like that. So yeah, I think now that you are a little ways out from Mars, a little time has passed. You've had a few minutes. I'll say this, Cassidy, you wake up. You don't know when you fell asleep. You didn't mean to, certainly. But you wake up in your bed, in your quarters, to the sound of your handheld dinging, I think.
Hello.
It's actually not a phone call. It's not anybody trying to call you. It is just an indicator of like funds transferred.
Oh.
You've been sent some money. And it's from Maeve. I mean, you can't like backtrack it super easily. It's definitely running through multiple layers of encryption. It's definitely money that's, coming at you from several different less than reputable sources. But it is going to be enough, I think, for you to, at the end of the day, this job was just a milk run. And it's definitely not as much as you would normally get paid for your services. I'm going to say you're going to get 2 fuel, 2 supplies.
I heard. That's not too bad.
That's not too shabby. And now you are on approach towards the nearest ring gate. Enter the rail network and carry on your way. Which means that we're going to be flying a span. The ring gate that you reach is the closest one just beyond the space of Mars itself. It's heavily trafficked. There's a lot of people going out to Mars, and it's also the gateway basically to getting out to the Jovian mines. So I think you're flying, so you're going from Mars
We're going to Mars, from Mars to Tranquility, right?
You're going from Mars to Tranquility, which I'm going to say is actually one span.
Okay.
But for every span's worth of fuel and supplies you burn, you add 1 to the roll. You can do this up to a maximum of +3. So you can spend up to 3 fuel, 3 supplies. That'll get you a +3.
Doesn't our fuel cost 2?
Thanks for keeping me honest.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does. Because it's equal to the size of the largest room, which is 2.
It's 2. Got it. Okay. Cool beans. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. So
to get a +3, you would need to spend 6 fuel, 3 supplies.
Okay. So then let's spend 4.
Okay.
And then 2 supplies.
Okay. For a +2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Marked off.
Thank you. Thank you, JoJo.
And then you're going to roll it.
Oh, dear.
Do you need a help, Captain?
Okay, so wait, I'm just rolling, I'm just adding the 2, or am I also adding like that?
You're just adding a 2.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yes, a 6.
It's a 6. That's a 6. It is a 6. I mean, there's nothing in the rules that says you can't help on this.
Great.
So if you want to, you can.
Okay.
But there are some interesting options in the misroll if you just want to let it ride. Plus, you'd get to mark XP.
Cap, I'm going to leave it up to you, but we do have a heat of 3. So if you're allowing a help, we can at least bump it to a 9. And I can take a harm to the engine room, which I was going to fix anyway, and make it a little more smooth sailing. But if you want to take the XP and see how things shake out, we got to take L sometime.
Sure, I'll allow it. Sure, I'll allow it.
So what's it?
And I take -1 option on a miss anyway. So yes, this is fine.
Okay. So, okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So you're going to let it ride.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let it ride.
Mark XP. And normally you'd have to choose 2. But since you have that ability, you only have to choose 1. The authority takes an interest in you. You encounter a hostile ship. The ship suffers 4 harm, AP, dealt to rooms of my choice.
Still about that enemy ship, though.
So about that enemy ship, though.
About that enemy, the hostile ship. Yeah. Sure.
That's the one you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right, I like that. Then I think actually what's going to happen, as we know, you enter the rail network, you go through one of the ring gates. It's basically a magnetic coil that fires you out into the rail network, onwards towards the next gate, which then is going to kick on, fire you out of that. There are systems that kick on in your ship to compensate for the inertia. There are systems to guide the ship. You can't pilot it unless you override those systems. You can't pilot it while you're riding the rails, quote unquote, unless you override those systems. But I think in this particular case, as you are zipping, absolutely flying between 2 of these ring gates, your ship systems kick back on. The inertial dampener cuts off. The guidance comes back online. You are still moving at a ridiculous pace, but you are already starting to slow down. And I think your progress is shortly thereafter fully arrested as the... double check on how this works. Okay, yeah. Jojo. You were going to take 4 E harm to the engines.
Well, that's gonna be real interesting because I haven't gotten a chance to heal the engines yet.
So it's a little bit different. It's E harm.
What's rated E for everyone?
It's from an EMP.
Oh.
So it's not real damage,
Okay.
but it is enough to temporarily take out a room.
Got it. Okay.
In this case, your engines, which you see the lights start to flicker, you see everything shudder,
Cool.
the turbines come to a stop.
Oh, I fucking hate this. Captain.
Yeah. No, I know.
I was gonna say
No,
there's no
comms.
There's
No
no
comms.
comms. Not for Jojo.
Not
For the rest of this was a very targeted shot. So the rest of the ship has power, but you are all feeling like the sort of like as the engines stop.
You are a sick son of a.
You supposed to be slowing down?
Kill that dog.
No.
Oh my God,
Okay.
he's the bad guy.
Patty, I need you to get to
Bad guys.
Okay. And Pad will start running straight for engines to Jojo.
I'm sure Joe and Patty probably run into each other. Just with because that's Joe's running to the front to tell everyone engines are fucking shot. EMP room's gone. We are sitting fucking ducks. Is any other room affected? Is it just NG?
I mean, everything seems to be running as far as I can tell.
Well, the fact that we still have life support because we're still breathing, so that's good. You should check the weapons rooms. I gotta run and tell Captain. Is your comms working?
Yeah, comms are working.
Asks Pat essentially to like wave down and like so can get into their ear and is like, Captain, it's Joe from Pad. Engines are shot. EMP.
No,
What do you want to do?
I need you and Patty to get those back up and running. I'm gonna see if I can locate who did this.
Aye. You're with me, my boy. Come on. We got to see if it's... And then we'll just go and techno-babble about what it could possibly be into the engine rooms.
Icky, I need you on guns.
Oh, okay. We will scurry down into the guns.
And Cassidy, as you were giving these orders, as all of this is happening, you hear a voice. Well, you'd get an indicator that somebody is trying to contact you. A ship is linking with the Tenebris, opening up, because of where you are, opening up voice channel only, no video, because you don't have access to the net at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a local proximity connection, basically. It's a hail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I pick anything up on sensors?
Yeah, absolutely. I think let's make a roll to see how much information you can get. We are starting to struggle here.
Mm-mm.
It is not pulling up. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this is going to be to get a read. I think you're going to roll with gut.
Heard. 10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay. You get 2 holds. You can spend them 1 for 1 to ask me questions. If you act on the answers, take +1 forward. What's hidden, obscured, or unclear? How can I exploit a weakness, vulnerability, or opportunity? What's the largest uncounted threat, variable, or danger? What's the best way I could blank?
Okay. Hidden or obscured thing.
Sorry, what?
What's the hidden or obscured thing?
Oh, okay,
What?
yeah. What's hidden, obscured, or unclear? Sure. So yeah, with the systems on the ship, with the sensors, because you can't really see anything out of your viewport, which is facing front, you're dead in the water essentially. But when you pick up a ship that is approaching quickly, you know that it is Earth Coalition.
Mm.
And you know that it is not a civilian vessel. I think you would be able to tell that it is a military vessel of some kind, not a warship. Not by any means. It is not nearly that size.
Gotcha.
But it's about the same size as the Tenebris, roughly.
Got it. Okay. How can I get the hell out of here without my engines? Is there something I can do like right now to get out of here?
That's such an interesting question. You know what I think? Yeah, I think that they have what they've done essentially is overridden your connection to the rail networks. They broadcast this signal that overrides your ship. It tells the inertial dampeners to kick on. It tells the guidance system it tells the ship to follow the guidance system. They've basically blocked that. You could make a patch, or someone could make a patch to try to bring that back online.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I'm going to answer, but first I'm going to send the comms are broke. Fuck.
Okay. What the voice says as it clicks on is unregistered vehicle. I'm sorry, not that. Unregistered ship. We are on the approach. Do not resist.
Unregistered? I'm so sorry. This is a fully registered vessel.
Operating under a false Earth Coalition registration is a felony.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's not false. But this might be a bit above your pay grade, son. You should probably just let us be on our way.
It's quiet for a second.
It's
quiet for a second. It's quiet for a second, and then the voice says, "We are moving in to begin docking procedures. Prepare to have your party memberships audited."
Oh, don't like that. Don't like that. Interesting. Okay, I'm not responding. I am going to the engine. I'm going to the engines.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. So you were having this conversation as you were running to the engines. Absolutely. So yeah, you basically you run towards the engine room. I think I wanted to act fast roll from you.
Okay.
Which is with gut.
Gotcha. That is a 9.
Okay. With a 9, you make it work, but I'm going to impose one of the following. I think what I'm going to say is that something you're using breaks and must be repaired. And I'm going to say that is your auto nav controls.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude.
Because my favorite Pokemon is Gabumon.
Wow, hater. What a hater. What a hater.
He's been salty about that for hours.
Stewing on it.
I've been waiting.
Talk about
I've been
pulling a
waiting.
clutch. Jeez.
Yeah, I think you take a corner, you almost run into we'll say Dickie, who I think is probably just trying to figure out what is going on, what's happening. And when you try to avoid bowling Dickie over, your arm accidentally smashes into the wall, essentially, and breaks the screen of your auto nav control.
Mm. There's a string of curses in French that then devolves into Jupiter Creole.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still moving. Like, doesn't even acknowledge it.
Okay. I'll... Guns. Okay.
We're getting audited. We have to move now.
I think we're just like guts in like different wires and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Try.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
Of course
pry,
we're getting fucking audited right now. Hold this. Like, just tying shit.
Okay.
Cassidy, you pry open the partially open door of the engine room, and you burst in to see Padlock and Jojo wrist deep in the guts of the Tenebris.
Okay. All right. I don't listen. I know every now and then I say we got some urgency about ourselves. Right now, like, I need this shit done yesterday. They've blocked our connection to the relay, like to the rings. We need to get that established. I don't care how janky it is. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm gonna trust you. I can't do it from here right now. So I gotta go back to the helm.
You get a nod from Joe, who's just running through scenarios into like what's gonna make it fit. First thing I want Joe to do is to get the engines back running so we can do something about it, and to use that machinist role to try and repair.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely going to be. I think you're absolutely going to have to make that roll. This is with machinist.
Yes.
So yeah, you are repairing something. Ooh, okay, cool. So you're actually doing this. You're not even making a patch. So you're going to have to spend 1 credit in scrap, which we have on the sheet demarcated, and then you're going to roll with brain.
Okay. That is an 8.
Okay.
So that's repair a point of harm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think so you spend the scrap. You are patching things up. I think that is going to be enough to override the EMP. Basically, you are going to be able to get the engines back online, but you're not going to repair the harm that was already done to the engine room.
Yeah.
Cool. Love that.
I think just out loud, she's, as like things start humming again, she goes, if there's any way to change our access, make it something that automatically can hook up to the gate. Do you think that's something we could hack, change something? I don't know. They're flagging us. We just have to remove that flag.
Well, here's the thing. You've got the engines back online. You're going to have to run from them either way because you've lost your momentum. Like
Okay,
the rail network fires you. You came to a stop. You aren't going to be able to pick right back up where you left off because you haven't been, fired out of a rail gun basically recently. But what you can try to do is outrun them to the next rail gate, to the next ring gate, and then get back into the network. But you need the controls back online for that.
Can I pull a stunt from the engineering room now?
You can, but I would say first someone is going to have to try to override their override by rolling to make a patch, which is a junk roll.
I can patch.
Yeah.
Let me then, now that the engine room is up, then I can get to a console and see if I
Yes.
can go to one of those consoles and try to override that and build a patch.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. Cool. So you're going to have to roll to make a patch. That's with junk.
That is a 9.
Okay. Fantastic. It's working now, but something else will break or it's not quite as effective as it was. What I'm going to say, what I'm going to say is that you can override their override, but basically what you have to do is overload your own circuits, essentially, to sort of like create this feedback loop that's going to fry them. And I think in this case, the only place you can pull extra power from in the moment is the infirmary.
He's gonna be
I'm kind of not thinking about it. And I just start pushing stuff and rerouting power into it. And I will deal with repairing that part of the ship later.
Yep. So Dickie, you are headed towards the front of the ship, but I'll say that as you run past the infirmary, you hear a loud popping noise as every single light bulb in the room explodes.
What just happened to my infirmary?
I don't know what you're talking about. But I do have us patched in, and I think we can move now.
Great.
Or we keep moving.
Great.
We'll think about it.
So you basically overload their connection. Cassidy, you get back to the bridge right as you hear a sort of whirring thunk on the outside of the hull, which you know is them connecting to you with their dock, and like they're planning to attempt to board.
Gotcha. Cool beans. So, are the comms back?
Yes, comms are back.
Okay. Cool beans. Jojo.
Captain.
La puta loca ahora.
Sí, Capitan. Let's go. That is a 9 plus 2 is 11.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's all about magnets. So we're just kind of going whoop.
So you are going to do it, but you do have an opportunity to do some very cool shit here because they are currently docked with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you what comes out of this, but basically you do it. You do a cool stunt, and I'm just going to put it in your hands.
So, and I want to also pull the room, but let me see, because we've talked a lot about magnets and spinning and stuff. So I kind of want to just, if possible, like the Tenebris spins in a different way. So like maybe that's part of the experimentation is like instead of it spinning this way, it kind of spins in exactly. So
do a
barrel rolls and we do a fucking barrel roll and these motherfuckers float into space.
I would love for them to just sort of bounce against something and disconnect.
Yeah, I think just the force of it, like the boarding dock is not meant to be used in, on a moving vessel. So your engines kick back on as after you've been dead in the water as far as they're aware, and that snaps right off. And I think like you kind of like the force of you spinning around is what breaks it, and then you like have your engines pointed directly at them as you sort of blast away from them. Back out into space. I don't think you do any real damage to their ship, but like you were sort of leaving them in your wake, which is going to carry them away. They're going to have to right themselves. They're going to have to spend some time to get back on course and to reorient themselves as they're just sort of tumbling ass over tea kettle through space back away from you.
Ay, que rico wepa! You just get that going.
Amazing. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that on the way, like out and away, or like while we're traveling and getting away from them, that we remove the coalition fucking registration that we absolutely put in place when we were going on to Mars. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a little bit, because like you can absolutely strip that if you want, but that's going to leave you unregistered, not with a false registration.
I thought we had one for no, we had a coalition one. Okay,
You probably
Never
did have a
mind.
coalition one. You might have had like a Jovian one too, but like Mars doesn't care about them, and Tranquility, that's probably outside of your price range to have, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Earth Coalition is the easiest and the cheapest option. You might have one for Takamagahara.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think getting rid of the Earth Coalition one is sort of top priority right now. So, yeah, that seems reasonable.
Cool. All right. Fantastic. You kind of like slot out your coalition registration, slot in your Takamagahara registration.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are back on track. And headed towards the next ring gate.
Yeah. Shit. Wow. This was fun. Is the infirmary all right?
I think there's probably a smash cut to Diggy dodging the auto dock, trying to stab him in the face.
100%.
And he's like, nope. Nope, not okay. No. It's trying to vaccinate me against things I'm already vaccinated against. No.
Oh, all right. Batty, JoJo, how we looking down there?
We're alive, but boy, does this room need a lift.
I think we've probably routed as much power as we possibly can amongst this ship, so I don't know if we could do that again.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna help Dickie in the infirmary. You all start working on getting things set back to right, yeah?
Do what we do best.
Sure thing.
Absolutely.
And I would just quickly like to take this opportunity to say hi to Kitten and thank Kitten for their contribution to the chat.
Thanks, kid.
Thanks,
Thank
Kitten.
you, Kitten.
Everybody give a pss, 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 pss for Kitten.
Yeah, just a quick perfect. It's like everybody's Alexa turns on. Everybody's cat's just like, wonderful. So it sounds like we're trying to maybe make some patches or maybe fix some rooms. Which is definitely JoJo's specialty. So JoJo, if you want to make another machinist roll to try to fix the engines, you can.
I sure would. Hard to get higher. That's an 11 plus 2 is a 13.
Hell yeah, brother.
Wonderful. So you not only heal you repair 1 point of harm to the engine room, and you get your 1 credit in scrap back too. So you break even basically.
The best of what I do looks. I think that Joe, looking at the ship's computer, also sees the helm needing help and then shoots a message. When I'm done with the engineering room, I'm going to need to check out helm. So whenever you're ready for me.
All right. Let me. Still working on. Fucking.
Watch out!
What?
I'll let you finish that up.
Yep.
I'll meet you there.
Okay. I think Cassidy's gonna wind up with a numb arm for a little bit.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, double vaccinated for space polio.
I was just going to say, have you already had your Jovian pox vaccine? Because I don't know what the side effects of a double vaccination are.
No, we hadn't gotten around to that yet.
Well, I think you're fine then.
Is it supposed to feel tingly?
Yes. for 3 to 4 days.
What?
Yeah, and then it will radiate outward. I don't know.
Dickie, if you and Cassidy are trying to get the infirmary back to working order, JoJo's still going to have to work on this, but you can maybe get it back and functional by rolling to make a patch. One of you roll with junk.
Okay.
Well, we're both not great at that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to do it since it's my room?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, it's a 9.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 10 minus 1.
Okay. Cool beans. Well, listen, I'm just gonna help. I'm gonna help.
Yeah,
I'm gonna help.
which is totally fine. You are in the same place, so you can totally do that. The thing is back to working, and it will hold for the time being. So I think basically what happens is, Dickie, you get things to stop going haywire, and you've basically got it back to the effectiveness of like a field office. Like It's not automated. You don't have all access to all the instruments, but it is not trying to actively murder you or explode any longer.
Also, my audio system seems to be doing weird mixing. It keeps playing Earth Classic Toxic by Britney Spears. And it will not stop. Jojo, please fix it. Thank you.
No, it's so much funnier. So much funnier for it to not be fixed. I'm sorry. I'll just change it to a different song. It can always be
100%.
worse.
True.
Giving you a 1,000-year classic.
I was going to say, JoJo changes it to Gasolina. But
Yeah, exactly.
Daddy Yankee.
Yeah. You wanted Daddy Yankee, right? Like, that's okay. I got you.
Just a little bit of reggaeton, huh?
Hey. Wepa.
All right. Fantastic. And you are back on track. You continue on your way. You limp along onwards to the next ring gate, the next leg of your journey. I think this is going to count. This is what you picked for flying a span. So yeah, you can pick back up. You're not going to have to spend additional fuel or anything like that. And you'll need to pick the one option. So you fly, you reach the next ring gate, and it spits you out. You continue traveling onward. There's really no doubt in your mind that the Earth Coalition ship that you left in your wake is probably still following you, but you've changed your registration. Short of them managing to catch up with you and eye you visually, you've bought yourself at least some time. And I think as you fly the span, unless anybody is trying to have any moments with each other, have any conversations while that's going on.
So.
Okay.
I do think Dickie would probably roll back to JoJo and ask what happened while we were separated.
Yeah, I think you'd catch Joe probably working on the helm like it was like a car. So she's under like a panel and is working on stuff. What happened while you were out with Patty?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not a doctor, but I am. The captain seems a little
Fucked up?
Yeah, for lack of a better term.
I'm not exactly an expert on family relations. On Taka, everyone is everyone's. But I know family can be tough. And I shouldn't be talking for the Cap's business. If he'll talk about when he's ready. But the quick summary, things went to shit. One of the reasons it went to shit is we had to go head to head with some people using Jovian mining equipment. Well,
Oh.
Exactly. So, when realized that there was a family connection. We barely got out with our asses, but we still did, like we always do. And um, they had one more talk, and I don't know, it went better than I think it could have gone, but he did still try to shoot me. So,
Joe, a lot of people try to shoot you.
yeah, it's probably my winning smile or charming personality.
Yeah, that's it.
Smoke rises from the panel, but it's cigarette smoke, so it's
Mhm.
fine, not panel smoke. I am not the best at words, but you're a pretty okay shrink, so if you want to talk to the Cap, probably could use someone to talk to right now. He's just running out of them.
Noted. Thank you.
Pass me that wrench.
Dickie hands you a screwdriver and walks away.
Thanks. She makes do.
Yeah, I think Dickie would go to the infirmary now that this is all sorted. Make a note in Cassidy's file. Family? ? Underline, underline. And then would probably go try and find Cassidy.
Where would Cassidy be?
Well, JoJo was working in the helm, so he would probably. You know what? Question, because I know this is space shit. Do we have a washer dryer?
I don't think so.
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, yeah.
Just
No, I
freeze
think
our
it's.
clothes.
I was gonna say, I think you're hand washing, or you're just a little bit grimy all the time.
Gotcha. Okay, so he is currently hand washing the sheets for no particular reason.
Yeah, I think there's probably like a cellar sink, the equivalent of like just a bucket sink
Mm-hmm.
with some of your recycled water supply just spilling out onto the sheets when you catch up with them.
Give a knock, knock, knock on the hull.
Why are you knocking?
Well, it's not your usual laundry day, so I didn't know if you wanted to be disturbed or not.
No, it's fine. What's up?
I just, well, we've had a experience, and part of my duties are to make sure that the crew is mentally healthy in addition to physically. So I wanted to check in. Do a little run of the fingers up the side of the door frame.
I mean, do I need to go to the infirmary? We doing like a check or what's up?
Oh, we can talk in the laundry room. It's fine. If you're cozy here.
Cassidy will lean back, casual. Sure. We can talk.
So, pulls out a clipboard. How would you rate your current mental health on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very sad and 10 being great?
Give it about a 9.
Okay, so not as good as usual. I see. What happened on Mars, Captain?
I mean, a lot of shit. You were there for a good bit of it.
And I wasn't there for more of it.
True. Well, there was an attempted train heist, a crawler heist. Sorry, couldn't call that thing a train. There were some folks in Jovian gear, so that was fun. They tried to a hull breaker at me. Did point one at me. And JoJo at one point. So that was great. We managed to stop them from taking the goods that we were delivering. We met another doctor. Infuriating. Absolutely the worst. Can't stand her. Hot, though. So that was super annoying.
That would be very annoying. I mean, you know what it's like to have a hot doctor around, so.
No, absolutely. You know. Not nearly as twinkish and boyishly good looking, but.
Well, who is?
Still trying to find one. None like you, Dickie.
Thanks, Captain.
Yeah, and then we got word from JoJo's contact that they were in a bit of a pickle, and so we went on a daring do,
which is what we usually do. Can we go back to the Jovian mining gear?
Why?
How do you feel about that? I assume it's been some time since you spoke to anyone from Jupiter, right?
Yeah. It's been a minute.
And okay, I'm really bad at this. I'm not. A little bird told me that your family was there.
Yeah, my little brother.
And he was pointing a weapon of mass destruction at your face.
And at JoJo's.
And at JoJo's.
Yeah.
Breaks ships, Will. It's a big gun.
It's a big gun. I don't know about mass destruction, but yeah, it's a weapon of destruction.
Listen, if you're on a ship that gets blown up by a hull breaker, you're massively disrupted.
You're not wrong.
If I'm facing down someone with an RPG, I'm gonna feel like I'm facing down a weapon of mass destruction.
Okay. So, if we're going to get into this conversation, one or both of us needs to be way more drunk.
I could drink.
Great. We will move behind the sink. There's another flask. Downs it, hands it over to you. There's still some in there.
Enough to get me drunk.
Yeah. But it's one of the big flasks. So Okay. So yes, it was my little brother.
He tried to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not usual.
I mean, it is if he feels abandoned.
Why does he feel abandoned?
Because I did.
Did you?
Yeah. I did. I could have gone home. Instead, I stayed on the streets of tranquility. Tail between my legs.
But that led you to here.
It did. But I could have gone home.
I suppose we've had the time.
Yep. But I didn't feel like I had earned the right to do that. So I didn't.
it does sound like there's a complicated factor here, but I would remind you, I'm remembering Dickie's a little drunk, I would remind you that this ship is also the F word.
Family?
Yeah, and you've said that a lot.
And I meant it.
And you've saved our asses a lot.
Correct. And we'll do it again.
And you didn't abandon us.
That's because I learned from the first time.
That's progress.
Yeah. Can't say that it matters much to the family that first got it. And honestly, that wasn't even like the worst it could have been. Could have been my mom.
Oh, is she also mad at you?
Probably.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Did I tell you my parents killed me? Legally.
No, I can't say that you mentioned that, or maybe you did. It was all a bit of a blur, Dickie.
It's blurry. You're right.
Yeah, you killed a guy.
I had to.
I know.
And I think you had to leave. Right?
I did.
Well, there was a very handsome man on Mars who told me that you can either accept it and deal with it and move on, or let it.
I remember saying that. It's true.
It was a different handsome man. He had blue hair.
Oh.
You would have liked him. I
bet.
hated him.
But you still recognize he was handsome.
You can hate someone and recognize they're handsome.
Sure.
I hated how much I liked him.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, what was his name?
Mrrr.
Ooh.
Meisner.
Meisner, thank you.
Thought that was Dickie going, I remember.
I mean, it was also Alex doing the same thing.
Meisner.
We should look him up the next time we're back on Mars, but he's a smart man and a handsome man. A very annoying man.
Oh.
And his point, I think, is good. It happened. And people were hurt, but you know what? You can either learn from it and move on, or you can just sit there with it and let it fuck your shit up.
Okay. Did you learn from it?
Well, I was ready to pull a trigger on a fucking warship.
Good.
So yes.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Did you learn from it?
Yes. I did.
Good. Good talk,
You doing all right?
I think.
No? Yeah, that's fair. Didn't really
Oh.
get a chance to go over things.
No. I'm a little upset that my dad and mom decided that I was better off dead.
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to shoot him?
Maybe? No. No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know if you change your mind.
I will. Do you want me to shoot your brother?
No.
Let me know if you change your mind.
Okay. Okay.
And then Dickie's just gonna hug you. Just like face into your sternum, little arms.
Yeah, there's a moment of surprise, but it's immediately washed away, and he will hug you back. Great therapizing there, Doc.
Thank you. You're pretty good at it yourself. We might have a third doctor on this ship. Doctor of feelings.
Maybe
Alcohol.
Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Feelgood, we're getting you that for your next birthday party present.
Hell yeah.
Putting it right. Yeah. Okay.
Amazing. Okay, you should probably make sure to have some water. You
No, that's
fucking-
my line. You should get
You
water.
fucking lightweight.
You just mix that really strong.
It's one alcohol.
It.
One alcohol. There's no
A
mixing.
single alcohol.
Just
Single alcohol.
that was more than one alcohol.
Okay.
That's a lot of milligrams.
It's a lot of milligrams.
Is Dickie gonna wind up a semi-solid?
Yeah, I think he's going to slowly lose bone structure as he walks back to the infirmary, and will just sort of.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make sure that he actually gets to the infirmary. Actually, we'll take him to his room. It seems like a better idea.
I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll get the forehead kiss. And,
Do I get a tuck?
Sure. We'll
Thank
give
you.
a little tuck. What's wrong, Julia? Yeah, no, I think with the brunt of that conversation mostly avoided, we'll find another flask hidden somewhere. They're gonna be
Sure.
empty by the time he's done. Oh wait, he's got to go back to the sheets to wash the horse off of. I mean, the Nevin off of. I mean, who fucking knows what that thing person is? It's hard.
Wow. That thing. Wow.
I said what I said.
Oh my God.
You said it with your whole chest.
Play on the play, uncalled for.
He's having feelings.
Clearly. Holy shit. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave you alone with whatever that is. you got some reflecting to do.
Oh, am I gonna go? Gonna go to contemplation?
That's up to you, my guy. Maybe you should. But I think while that interaction is going on, I do just quickly want to check in on our engine room, because a lot of stuff got ripped out of walls, a lot of things got broken, a lot of things got moved around, and so I can only imagine that in this brief moment of peace and tranquility before you get to actual tranquility, that is where we would find a resident junker and greaser trying to keep this hunk of bolts flying.
Yeah, I think it's been Joe and Pad kind of in the same room, in different rooms, kind of being all business for a while. But I think in one of those moments of kind of very asynchronous work, Joe takes a second and just squirrels her face up at Pad. You good? I mean, we're heading to tranquility.
Oh, like Pat was just like checking out if there was something like on them. I mean, currently, okay.
Okay.
The closer we get there, I'm starting to feel a little worried.
There are shitloads of very reasonable reasons to be scared. So, but I want to know, what are you worried about?
I don't know. I thought we were never going to come back here. I thought we were like blazing trails to new horizons, and somehow we found a way to reorbit back over here.
Yeah.
I'm just also worried about just being on the campus again.
Me too, for what it's worth. I wasn't expecting to go back. I don't think we'd be going back if it wasn't for a really important reason. And a point of order, were we told as to the reason we were going back? I
To
forgot.
tranquility?
We're
Yeah.
picking up somebody.
Yeah, you are saving. Well, you've been told a couple different things. Some of you have been told different things than others of you.
Yeah.
The job that Nevin Westcott hired you for was to basically retrieve his senior thesis, which is a military grade AI. He told Cassidy you were going back to save his sister.
This
Nevin
weapon
Westcott.
program, whatever the hell, I don't think we can leave it in the head in the main man's hands. Catching herself from saying headmaster or sir. And having to go through Cassidy's list of alternative names.
I mean, I get that. I understand that. That sounds rational, but like, why does it have to be us?
Well, I don't know if there's anyone else who would do it. I don't know if it's some sort of cosmic irony or just the way things shake out here. But I don't know why us. If you want to stay back, I'll support you. But
Oh, I mean, I don't want to stay back because I want to be useful and I want to be helpful and things like that. And I trust not only us, but I trust that Cassidy's making the right decision on this. As the captain, but it just doesn't like shake that twitch that I feel, especially given the nature of it. I mean, the last time they were working on a big project like something like that was with what we keep in our junk drawer at the bottom of this ship. So, I think I understand the gravity of whatever Nevin was doing uh, is a whole mess of complicated and potentially like dangerous beyond what we even think it is.
yeah,
So it's going to be well protected and all of that stuff. So we got to all be hands on deck about it. But yeah,
still don't shake any of the fear. I think it's good to hold on to. You got a good gut, Pad, and we all rely on it and you. And you just being there is gonna help. And we're just gonna do our best. Watch out for each other's backs. And be even more wanted criminals than we already are.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you got to see how the way that Earth Coalition ship melted, but
It was pretty gnarly. It was pretty metal.
yeah, I'm gonna have to recalibrate that a little bit. That was a little too much juice in one punch.
You want less sauce?
It's not that I want less sauce. I just want more like better control the flow of it. Obviously, it's been breaking down like the entire electrical system at the same time, and we can't afford that.
If we can
I-
find better ways to heat sink, I'm sure that would probably just some sort of way to keep things level.
Yeah, as long as we're not draining juice, because if we use it again, which I gotta, now I'm like, Pat's like going into it. It's like, fuck, now we got so much things to fix. But yeah, if the sauce disables the ship, it's not gravy either.
Right. I'll run some calculations, and I'm sure Cass has got some math he can do too. I think that Joe just takes their hand really quick and gives a squeeze and just says, "We got this. We got each other. It's gonna be okay."
Pat will return the squeeze, and just nod in agreement that we got this.
Fixing ships.
Fixing ships.
Fixing ships. You go back to your very comfortable silence as you continue about your work, and the ship drifts on. The ship flies through the rail network, largely under the guidance and the propulsion of the rails themselves, giving you all a chance to catch your breaths before finally it spits you out. The last gate, right before tranquility. Still a good distance away. You're still going to have to travel to get there. And then there's the matter of getting access to the planet and down onto the planet. But, yeah, what's up?
About how off are we on the ETA that I gave my contact?
I think you're honestly pretty on track. I mean, you were trying to time this with the event, the party.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember if I said it was a centennial or bicentennial or what, but it's something. There is a party at the foundation, and I think you're pretty much on track. I think you maybe have a couple of days before you got to get back down there for that, if you want to be in attendance for it. But it's a good excuse to get access to the foundation.
Which we do desperately. Mm-hmm. So I need to get in touch with my friend.
You do. The best way to do that would probably be to basically dock at the ring gate and take a little time, make your calls as you need to, and finally get everything set before you head down there. It's also a chance to refuel and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Is that the plan?
that is the plan.
Yeah, I would love to roll to actually heal the helm potentially, as well, if we have time for that.
You absolutely have time for that.
Cool. 9 + 2 is 11, so
yeah.
get the credit back.
Fantastic.
Helm is clear.
Perfect. She's not pretty,
But she's ours.
but she's yours.
That's what makes her the prettiest ship in the galaxy.
Exactly right. Cassidy.
Yeah.
I think as you are gearing up to call your contact, you actually receive a communication.
Mm-hmm.
Across the net. Are you accepting it? It is encrypted.
Oh, yeah, I'll accept.
Okay. You pick up and you see the sort of shaky, wavering face of Maeve Delaney looking back on you. The picture is not terribly clear, but it is coming from Mars, and a lot of the connections on Mars are kind of backdoor jury rigged, so you're not terribly surprised, but
Right.
It is unmistakably her.
Maeve. How's it going?
Captain Starrunner. Did you make it to your destination all right?
Yes. Despite best efforts to not.
Not yours, I assume.
No, certainly not. We ran into some Earth Coalition goons on the way.
Yeah, wanted to talk to you about that.
I
I mean,
love that.
I'm calling you because the Vigilant, Cassidy, she turned tail. She ran between whatever that was that you did and our ships. It was too badly damaged. It turned left. Communications are back open. The blockade's over. You did it.
For now.
For now.
So,
Cassidy, I don't think you're hearing me. You did it.
what do you mean?
People are talking about you. Not just on Mars. You're... Fuck, Cassidy. Goddamn heroes.
Hardly. We just cleared the way.
Look, you acting humble is real endearing and everything, but again, I'm not saying this as it's a good thing.
Oh,
People
I know.
are going to be looking for you. They're going to be paying attention to you. Cassidy, they're calling you the Sword of Mars.
Fuck, that's hot.
Yeah. I'm gonna be so real with you. That's exactly what Cassidy says.
Like, oh no.
This is open comm. Everyone on Tenebris just says "fuck, that's hot" at the same time.
Doorway panel.
Yeah.
Listen, I know what we did. It's drawn eyes. I'm aware. But I wanted to be so clear. I didn't do it to be a hero. Not a hero. We aren't heroes. We're just out here trying to survive in the black. And really tired of big people telling us what to do. So, yeah, we shot a ship. Now, what are you going to do with that?
Look, you got things that you're doing. You got your own priorities. You got your own lives. I know that. I called you to give you a heads up, give you a warning. They're going to be looking for you. There are going to be a lot of eyes looking for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to fire that gun in this system without coalition forces being on your ass in a matter of hours. But when that's over, like you said, for now, this war's not going away. They're not going to give up. Cassidy, God help me. I'm starting to think we might have a chance.
Good.
We might have a chance with you.
That's where see, you had me. You had me.
You might not be a hero. You might not be heroes. Like it or not, you're a symbol now.
This is just supposed to be a fucking pickup job. It's supposed to be an escort mission.
Sword of Mars cuts both ways, Captain.
Yeah. Okay. We've got to go pick something up. Someone up. Tell Horace I'll be back with his sister as soon as I can.
I'll let him know.
Great.
And for what it's worth, no matter what you decide to do, thank you. You changed a lot of lives here.
Welcome. Hey, I want you to look out for someone for me.
Go ahead.
Okay. Goes by Mal. You might see him and his crew in pieces of Jovian mining gear. Just make sure he stays out of trouble. Or gets into the right trouble. If you see him. Don't go searching.
I'll do my best.
Thanks.
Hope we see you soon.
As soon as we can. Don't want to be on Tranquility too long.
Good luck down there.
Gonna disconnect.
You disconnect, and Cassidy, you turn away from the console. Look out across the viewport side of the Tenebris at what was once Earth's moon. Now every inch of its surface covered in glittering, domed cities, connected by covered highways, reflecting the sunlight exactly the way that a skyscraper might, but just about 1,000 times brighter. And you still remember exactly how it looked the first time you saw it. The first time a ship picked you up on the Jovian moons, took you away from your family, promising you a better life, and brought you right here to the self-proclaimed seat of technology and innovation, the utopia called Tranquility. The one place in the system that you said you'd never go back to. And that is where we're going to end this episode of Nephilim Tenebris.
God
Yeah,
damn
of
it.
course.
Yes. Ah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I don't always end it on a terrible, awful cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Well, hey, we've had a lot of fun here tonight. What are our takeaways?
Oof.
Digimon are better than Pokemon. Sauce is not juice, is not gravy.
Yeah. We did have spirited sauce discussions.
These are
before.
distinct liquids.
Yeah,
Very much
these
so.
are their stories. Dun,
Yes.
dun.
Dun, dun. Oh, man.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're going to go around and we're going to do our introductions, and then we're going to, everybody is going to talk about where you can find them and what they have going on. And then we're going to hop over and I think raid our friends over at High Shelf Collective, who are streaming something. I haven't looked at it, but Alex, if you wouldn't mind kicking us off.
Sure. Hi, I'm Alex. I was Dr. Richard Courtney, and if Dr. Richard was a sauce, he'd be a pesto. You can find me on the internets as Mighty Finn or Mightiest Finn, depending on where you look. I'm not doing much right now, but I'm slowly coming back into the world of the living, so maybe there will be things in the future, writing projects at the very least. Check the socials otherwise. There's not much going on, but maybe there will be. Thank you.
Knows. Eli.
Hello, my name is Eli. I was playing Padlock, your favorite junker, who's also a very hot, savory, spicy mole sauce. But I am also the resident ghost of Mayday Roleplay. We're an AP content creation team making very cinematic, dramatic, all sorts of shenanigan-based actual plays. If you come and hang out with us potentially on Saturday, not only is it my birthday, but we will be playing Vampire the Masquerade, Vegas by night, and you can come hang out with the craziest coterie this side of the Rocky Mountains. But check our socials for all the other awesome stuff that you do. They do. We do. Jesus, what are words? And if you want to check out all the other things that I do, you can check me out at A Ghost of Eli. I do a bunch of writing stuff. I make games. I do random stuff. So you can check me out there.
Drag awful people
yeah.
on the internet. Can't forget that part. Drag awful people on the internet.
Dragging awful people on the internet. Heard you told some ghost stories recently. When do we get to watch those?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I do. We have releases of a game that I wrote called Ghostfire. Where, I run an AP. You'll see a couple people in here might be on it, but that will start rolling from the 19th through the 31st. We got 13 ghosts total who are coming to tell sad stories about their beloved characters, and it's going to be a good time.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Cute.
Hi, I'm Q, your friendly neighborhood cowboy maker. I was playing Mr. Cassidy, Captain Cassidy, Star Runner, who, if he was a sauce, he would be a vodka sauce, obviously. When you don't see me here, being just a good little space cowboy, you can find me out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I keep making cowboys. Opposite Tuesdays from this one, you can find me over at Entropy Emporium, where they call us villains, which is a masks horror game where I play the saddest, angriest boy, Connor. We are in a WandaVision-esque alternate reality. It's great in that it's awful. And there's no death in Hemlock. Alternating Thursdays, you can find me here again for Redacted, which is a psychological thriller, which was what Wes Anderson's 24 was what we were describing it as. I think that's the name. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, Class Reunion is another thing here that we do, which is a isekai game from some kids from Ohio and one of their roommates. I'm the roommate. It's fine. And then also at some point soon, there is an Ass Ass finale for the first table.
Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Wild.
Yep. That's this Saturday, my guy.
This Saturday. I knew that. I was testing you. You're welcome. I have other things and stuff in the works. Just sort of keep an eye out on that. And then that's it for you, boy.
Rose. You're so muted.
You're so muted.
You're so muted.
I'm so muted. Hi, I'm Rose. I played JoJo, the Greaser playbook, which I learned today after a year of playing this game. If JoJo was a pasta sauce, she would be an arrabbiata sauce. When I am not here, you can find me also on Alternating Tuesdays on Entropy Emporium, where I play someone who's never done anything wrong in their life, as I guest and torture some children who definitely deserved it. And truly come to see me make Q make those faces, and all of the other people the best part is when someone looks into camera and screams, "Are you stupid? No, seriously, are you fucking stupid?" Highlight of my career.
Love
Anyway.
Heart so much.
Check us out. That's all my shit. Good night.
Yeah, and let me make the chat go away, and then hi, hello. My name is Will. I've been your storyteller this evening. I'll be back doing some more storytelling. This week's very busy. I don't have anything tomorrow night, but Thursday night you can catch me over at Entropy Emporium around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, running God Complex, which is a Girl by Moonlight, technically a magical girl game, not so much, about making the corpses of dead gods into mech suits and fighting space kaijus at the end of time. There are a lot of feelings all the time, and you should check it out. It's a lot of fun. And then Friday, I'm taking my cat to the vet. But that evening, sorry, I'm going through my calendar in real time. That evening, I'll be over at Exquisite Corpse Presents playing Metalliteens in the City of Tomorrow. It's a masks game. I'm always running masks. I never get to play masks. So it's a lot of fun. You should come check it out. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, as aforementioned, is the final episode probably ever of our Regency Monster Hearts game, A Season of Secrets and Shadows, which has been running for 2 years, 3 seasons. It's been a crazy time, and I got plans. So you might want to tune in for that. It's the culmination of Abigail's story, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday night, we're recording our Masked Actual Play podcast, Academy H, which there are a bunch of episodes out there. We're on a release hiatus at the moment, but there are a lot of episodes out there if you want to listen to them or wherever you get your podcast. And also, we are currently releasing season 2 of our Monster of the Week podcast, Cryptid Community College, set in West Virginia. So if you enjoyed the various accents and voices that I did tonight, you can hear me doing a bad Scottish accent in that game. There will be a new episode of that out this Sunday around noon before we record Academy H. There's some other stuff going out. New casting call actually went out today for Entropy Emporium. I'm running a fantasy, low magic fantasy game, political intrigue game called Fall of the Ashen Throne, about a bunch of Crown's Guard knights who failed to protect their king, and now they don't know what to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. Other stuff coming up soon, but I'll talk about that when it happens. If I was a sauce, I guess I would be War Greymon.
Stop.
I think.
Stop.
It never ceases.
Wait, Quinston, you didn't just turn around.
Yeah, you turned your camera off. My gosh, you by accident. You turned your camera off.
Not by accident.
But hey, I think that's going to do it for us here tonight. So we're going to disappear in just a second. There are social links in the chat if you're not already following us, if you want to know what we're up to and keep up with us, or there's a Discord link if you want to join that community. It's a great place full of great people. We would love to have you be a part of it. We're doing a bunch of Extra Life stuff too. That's in November, but more on that later. Yeah, we're going to disappear. We're going to raid High Shelf Collective. Come along, be friendly, say hi. I think from all of us here live from the Apocalypse tonight, say goodnight, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night,
everybody.
Have a good one.